good to go. However, he's going to come out if he feels any strain at all. Naboo, though, has a non-COVID related fever, so he's on a very late snap count. As we here, you guys are joining us right now here live on YouTube. It is 0-0. Auburn just had their first 3 and out to this point. 10:43 left here in the first quarter.
Irish taking over here on offense. John Kohler at the helm, as it has been all season. I believe he's taken every single rep at quarterback so far this year for the Irish. Consistency has been one of their pros in the backfield and at quarterback, as Jason Brown will take the carry there and get to the left hash for a good gain. Almost runs over number 6 there. That'll be a gain of about 5. Consistency at the helm for the Irish has been key, as John Kohler, through his ups and downs, has led the Irish to just a 2-loss season. Some fantastic play from him so far this year. He'll look to continue that here in the district playoffs. But here in these playoffs, you always face such a low-ranked team when you're one of these powerhouses in state, and it's important to remember that these teams could want it more than you. It's important not to get cocky, not to get up in your own head. Make sure that you're keeping your head down and just grinding through it like you would any other game. As Brown takes the carry again, and he refuses to go down until he eventually trips over his own feet, but not before he's able to get the first down, and that will move the chains for the Irish.
And Auburn, a really good South End team in 3A. A lot of these south of Seattle teams that are powerhouses are 4A teams versus the 3A teams that we see, like Auburn here, as Brown is down on the sideline holding his right calf. We hope he gets better soon. However, we know the extensive backfield of O'Day, as it's Khalil Holiday checking in at the halfback spot with Georgios at fullback, Gallagher and Lipscomb to the right and left respectively. Here's the fullback run to Katsakis. Katsakis driving forward for a nice little gain of 5 there, and that'll set up a nice second and medium. Brown is up on the field now. Looked like he just had a cramp early there. Obviously not something you want to see. However, him up, walking around, jumping around a little bit is definitely a nice thing to see after him being on the ground moments ago on the sideline.
Well, Brown goes out there early. Nice run by Katsakis to advance them on first down and get a second and manageable here.
As it's Kohler under center. He pitches right to Holiday. Holiday across the midfield, now inside the 40, 30 defenders. Chasing finally gets tripped up with a shoestring tackle inside the 20 at the 19.
Well, there's one big piece of evidence as to how deep this O'Day backfield goes, as Brown goes out with a cramp early. Holiday subs in and goes for about 50 yards down to the Trojan 18, and the Irish will enter the red zone for the first time today.
And Cole Holiday staying at 6'1". He's a really powerful runner on the ground. He would likely be a fullback if he didn't have the speed that was just shown right there. It's not quite Jason Brown's speed. However, it is definitely notable, and that is why he's not a fullback to this point. And he is tackled down after a gain of 2 as Brown will check back into the game here.
Definitely nice to see him back in the game. You never want to see your star players hurt here early. And it's important for the Irish to keep the pedal down here as they enter this district playoffs. No matter who you're facing, you want to keep that same level of intensity, that same level of hustle. Make sure that you're in it to win it every single game and that you're not getting ahead of yourself.
And with the new offensive line here, it looks like it's Keith Hendershot, Janice Utu, Dylan Cohen, Sandra Afua, and Mark Naboo left to right there.
Nice little run by Kotsaki. Says it looks like he might have had a little trouble with the handoff, as that's been a problem for him all year. He's able to get it under control, take it for about a gain of 3, and it'll be third and medium here for the Irish.
And checking back into the game now is Khalil Holiday for Jason Brown. Jogs off on his own. Well, seems to be doing okay to this point, which is nice to see. And it looks like that offensive line I was mentioning earlier is actually the starting offensive line that we saw earlier in the season, with the exception of Ollie Breach at center. I'm unaware of his condition right now. However, we will get you updates when we know them.
Kohler looks to his right. Pass incomplete. That was Lipscomb on the target. Kohler can't quite connect with him, and it'll be 4th down and about 5 here for the Irish.
In coverage there, number 8, Mitchell Josh for the Trojans.
Nice bit of coverage. No PI was called, although Lipscomb did go down as the pass was coming in. We'll make sure to see that these refs are on top of their game tonight, as they've had a bye week just as Auburn and O'Day have.
Mitchell definitely a little bigger on the side for cornerback, stands at 5'10", 180 pounds. Not necessarily a big guy, however, that is the same size as Jason Brown, who's more of a running back type guy and less of that slimmer quarterback build, as it's Brown taken up the middle. He will get 4, but that's not going to be enough. Forced first down as Auburn takes over on downs at their own 10.
Wow, what an impressive bit of defense there from the Trojans. Just an excellent job there to stop Brown on the pitch, which has been a killer play for them all season. Nice bit of tackling to bring down Brown, who has all season been really hard to tackle. We know this about him. And they're able to stop the Irish short in the red zone, which is one of the Irish's biggest strengths, is their red zone offense. Able to come away with points almost 90% of the time this season, and they can't quite get it done there, as Auburn will stop them short and take back over on offense. And here comes the motion across as it is handed off up the middle, wide receiver, and he's taken down. Hit big time by Dane Camacho off the near hash. Camacho's hyped up about it. He wants it. He's ready. It's important to make sure that you're staying hyped, staying game ready, even for these lesser opponents, these early round opponents who just might want it more than you. As there's the screen pass, and it's dropped on the outside. Trey Stokes would have been there to make the play had it been caught, but it is dropped. And now a quick first and second down, and it will be third and very long for the Trojans here.
And this empty set getting used once more. That's what all Auburn's been running with to this point tonight. However, I really don't see any change in the offensive scheming here as the game goes on later. That offensive line still in a 2-point stance, still two receivers to one side, 3 to the other every play. Drops back, looks across the middle to the left side. Now overthrows the receiver, incomplete on the reception there. On the target there was number 7, Ben Williams, and that will set up a 4th down and 8 here. We could possibly see another quick kick from Goodfellow, as it looks like they are not going to bring any punching unit on to the field here.
Well, that was just a poor throw, and one that needs to be executed if you're going to have a chance of taking down the Irish. Threw it right over his head. Could have had him for a first down and just missed him there, and that's not where you want to be early, as they're going to go 3 and out for the second straight time. As there it is, the pooch punt, and that one's going to be much shorter than the last one, as Kyan McDonald was back to cover for the Irish. And instead it will take a favorable Irish bounce and go out around the O'Day 40, and that is where they will take over for their second offensive possession of the game.
We will be right back here live on YouTube for the Irish's second drive of the game.
We have an official timeout. Metro League promotes good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, derogatory comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the Leon Brigham Field. Also Also, this game is officiated by the Pacific Northwest Football Officials Association. There is a constant need for qualified individuals to work for our high school games. Please consider becoming a football official. Go to pnfoa.com to sign up today. Thank you.
And that was Ben Williams walking off the field with the help of his teammates. We wish him a quick and speedy recovery, as we do for all high school athletes. Never want to see anyone walk off the field injured in high school football, even if it is our rivals, as the Irish come out for the second drive of the game with Brown and a new fullback, Zach Newsom, in the backfield, with Sajay Jackson lined up near side, Gallagher to the far side, and Tucker Ashcraft at tight end.
Well, you'd like to see this Irish get their passing offense started, as it seemed to be nothing but runs on that first drive until an incompletion on the left side to Lipscomb, as there's Newsom on the carry for a gain of 2. The Irish have proven that they can be dangerous through the air as well, but their lack of usage is a little bit concerning, and the lack of diversity in this offense can be an issue at times for this team facing skilled defenses such as this Auburn one. You'd like to think they are going to get their receivers involved here at a certain point, try to make sure there's some offensive diversity, get the ball cooking through the air, and maybe get some chunk plays here.
And one guy, especially in the red zone, I want to look at is number 18, the tight end, Tucker Ashcraft. He has consumed the majority of targets and receptions in the red zone this season for the Irish. However, he's dangerous on any part of the field, as it's Brown taking it across the 20, inside the 25, inside the 20, now 10, getting in, touchdown Irish, Jason Brown on the 38-yard carry, taking it into the end zone for the O'Day first score of the game.
My goodness, what a run there by Brown as he takes that one 38 yards to the crib, and he's in for 6 for the Irish. What a run there as he wears number 6 across his chest, and he puts up 6 on the board. What a play by Brown to take that one in from deep, as he just won the foot race down the far sideline, and he is in. That is an excellent show of athleticism there from Brown, who just pounds that one in, and he'll have the Irish take the early lead here with 5 minutes and 37 seconds remaining in the first quarter. As there's the kick from DeSimone, it is up, it is through, and that will make it 7-0 in favor of your O'Day Fighting Irish here with 5:37 remaining in the first quarter.
5 minutes and 37 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
And the fight song rings throughout Memorial as the student section hyped to take the early lead here in the first round of districts, as I'm sure are the players. And they will head to the bench, go through a film review of what happened on that last drive. Auburn will bring out their offense, hoping to get their first down of the game here on their third drive.
And this first round of districts, if I'm not incorrect here, if I'm right here, it is win and go to state, lose and you are done. So these guys are fighting to continue playing high school football, which I know both of these programs want to do very much so, as it is DeSimone to kick off this time after it was Brown last time. And a guy I saw suited up on that drive on the field was Ollie Brach at center. Great to see him lined up. However, it is also nice to see the depth of offensive line that O'Day has here, being able to switch it up, use different types of players at different positions, and mess with this defensive line a lot. That could be a weapon they have here later on, like they do with their running backs, as is DeSimone with a line drive kick here, fielded around the 12. It's number 4 for the Trojans, taking it forward, cuts across the middle, and is stopped at about the 25. He's tackled forward at about the 27-yard line. On the return there was Latabrion Chandler, one of the senior captains, and that is where Auburn will take over for their second drive today.
Well, just an astounding performance here early from the O'Day defense. They're going to look to get another 3-and-out here on their third try. Newsom and Camacho over the middle have been rock solid both in coverage and guarding the run. And what's that you say? The run? But they're in an empty set. Yes, exactly. Auburn looks to use the power of trickery. They like to run with their quarterback. They like to give him those keepers and design runs in order to confuse the O'Day defense, and that's what they've done here early, as they'll get trips right. Goodfellow in the gun, drops back to pass, looks to his left, scrambling, and he'll be met by a flurry of red jerseys and go down for a gain of about 2. And it looks like Dane Camacho has a little bit of a cramp as Kai McDonald will come over to stretch him out.
And as soon as Dane Camacho went down, I saw him stay on the ground. However, it looks like it is just a cramp, no ankle injuries at all, which is nice to see. Another linebacker I'd like to highlight is number 41, Sir Keenan Hart, a guy that is really just a pure athlete. He is the starting JV halfback right now. Or earlier this season, I should say, as the JV season is done. He started both sides of the ball, halfback and linebacker. He's more of a pass coverage, a very agile linebacker. However, he can be used as a Jamal Adams pass rusher as well, as he's a guy that you can use really in any position that you would like to, as we see Dane Camacho hop off the field with just a cramp there, which is definitely nice to see, especially considering the alternative of a serious injury, as it's Davis Downer checking into the game for O'Day.
Well, a nice play there from Camacho, limiting the gain on first down, as it'll be second down and long for the Trojans. Hate to see him injured, but sometimes that's how it goes, as Goodfellow's in the shotgun. And there will be the keeper, and he's got some room to run here off the far hash, and he'll spin move, but after all that, he will only get a gain of about 5, as it looks like that was, pardon me, that was Sir Keenan Hart off the far side on the tackle for the Irish. Some sophomores here in the game for him.
Empty set once more, another motion as it's number 1 this time, taking up the middle, has a first down, a little more. That is Eddie Carter on the carry, and he will get across the 40 to about the 43, and that'll set up an Auburn first down, as it's J-Mo Saxton as well as Chris St. Louis checking in to the game to give a little more of a heavy set defensive line here.
Well, that's definitely great to see for the Trojans, as they'll get their first down of the game, as it's Anthony Hall and 3 other Irishmen combining on the sack there. Looked like Zach Proctor and Jameson Saxton and Chris St. Louis all in on that sack, as well as Anthony Hall getting the main credit. Just a nice piece of pressure there from the O'Day defensive line, as they have been doing all night.
Pizza Hall getting in the backfield once again. He's been one of their lead pass rushers this year, especially, and that is remarkable, especially since you have huge guys like Asandre Afua and Mark Naboo who can get in the backfield with ease over these smaller offensive linemen that they face, as it is Pizza Brown once more with J-Mo Saxton and Zach Proctor getting it done, sacking the quarterback Goodfellow once again, and that'll set up a third down and about 17 here.
Well, it did look like that was Zach Proctor doing most of the work, finally brought down at the end there by a few other guys. Nice play there from one of their top edge rushers who was questionable to play this week with a concussion. Goodfellow in the shotgun, drops back to pass, and there's pass rush immediately as he scrambles out to the near sideline, is falling down, and it's Anthony Hall again on the sack, and there's 3 straight sacks for the Irish defense, and that will back him up to be about 4th and 20. Just an incredible possession there from the O'Day defensive line.
If you're the O'Day defensive line, that's exactly what you wanted to do here early. Make your presence known, saying that we can get in the backfield. Your O-line, that's great. You have solid guys. However, our guys are better. We know how to get through those tiny holes and gaps that you give us. Even though you guys are 99% accurate there, we will abuse that 1% and get in the backfield and sack your quarterback. As it's Goodfellow with the punt once more. McDonald feels it just inside the 30, and he will make his way, still in bounds, somehow fighting his way forward across the 40 to the 42 with a flag thrown here. We'll wait for the official call from the man in the white hat.
Well, that's definitely what you want to see from the Auburn offense, as that'll be their first series of the game with a first down, as we'll see the ruling here from the officials. Personal foul, something or other on the O'Day Fighting Irish, and that'll back them up another 15 yards, and it'll be first down. Sorry, we don't always know the penalties as there's no PA system for the referees, but we do know that is a personal foul on the Irish, and they'll back them up 15 yards. And that is where they will start their drive at the 26-yard line. And last time out, Jason Brown, 38 yards for the touchdown. An impressive bit of running there, and they'll look to match that production here on this drive. One thing I'd love to see from the Irish on this one is a mix of other backs contributing to the run game. You want to see Brown, of course, but capitalize on the overusage of Brown and involve Holiday and involve Kotsakis and let them run wild as the teams overcompensate for the explosiveness of Brown. And here's Kohler under center. Drops back to pass, looks to his right, and he has Joe Gallagher deep, and it is incomplete, almost brought in by Gallagher, and there is the deep ball from Kohler, which they are not afraid to bring out. It was a nice throw, put almost perfectly over his right shoulder. Can't quite come down with it, and that'll set up 2nd and 10.
A really nice throw there from John Kohler to Joe Gallagher. Just wasn't able to complete the pass through that coverage. Great coverage there by number 17, Jalen Goodfellow. Another Goodfellow, like his, I'm assuming brother or cousin, staying at quarterback. As it's Kohler once again, he will give to Holiday this time, lined up at fullback. Holiday breaks some tackles, and he is able to get about 12 yards, which will set up an Irish first down. He's such a powerful runner and very hard to bring down. That's another thing that you'll notice. And he's used plenty at both sides of the ball with that physicality at strong safety as well as fullback and halfback, like they can do so well. As any O-Day student tuning in live here at Memorial Stadium, make sure to check in on Superfan for house points and personal points.
Kohler back to pass, looks to his right, he has Jackson, and that is intercepted, and he's going back the other way. Number 4 for the Trojans, and he'll have some open spaces. It's Hendershot looking to make the tackle. Holiday finally brings him down, and he's at the 40. He's at his own 40, and what a play to read the ball in the air, turn around, pick it off, and run it back, and the Trojans will start on offense. Nice play there from the cornerback, Latabrion Chandler, and he will come down with that one, and the Irish will turn the ball over. Not a surprise, as turnovers have been their biggest weakness so far this season. Kohler unleashed that one, looked like he had Jackson, didn't quite put enough mustard on it, and it is turned around by Chandler, who will take it back to the 44 for the Trojans, and that is where they will start their drive. And Chandler just fresh off a pick, no huddle, out wide for the Trojans on the near sideline at the bottom of your screen. And there's the motion in the backfield, and they'll look to over the middle, and that ball is definitely not caught as he was rocked over the middle by a flurry of red.
I believe that was Brendan Murphy, Sir Ian Hart, as well as Zach Newsom maybe on in coverage there. Great job, though, by the Irish to break that pass. Looks like there was a hold on Auburn, so that will set the Trojans back 10 yards. Another thing I would like to point out by this Auburn offense, when there's no stoppage of clock or the ball does not need to be set, like a first down or a ball going out of bounds, these guys like to go hurry up offense. And by hurry up, I mean O-Day isn't set yet. It's already happened twice that they have not been set, and they need to work on that because mistakes can easily be made, as it's that O-Day front 6 or 7 again, getting in the backfield and taking down Goodfellow. This offensive line has to find a way to stop Dane Camacho, Zach Newsom, as well as the rest of this O-Day offensive line from doing this all night long, or else Goodfellow will not be happy tomorrow with many bruises and injuries.
Looked like a little bit of a miscommunication in the backfield as this roll out to his left and look to throw, and it's picked off, and it's going back the other way. The Irish have matched the interception, makes a few men miss. He looks like he may have some space, jukes another, and he's finally brought down after juking about 3 Trojans of Auburn. Oh my goodness, what a play by Ryan Phillips to pick that one off.
That's Anton Arujo on the interception. He was injured until Eastside Catholic came after a torn meniscus injury in basketball last year. He has already made his presence known on the field, his second interception this season. Incredible job, though, getting up, using that vertical that he has to get up there, pick it off, and make, I think, about half of that Trojan offense miss him before finally being taken down after a 5-yard return.
Well, I'm very sorry, Antone. I got the wrong number on the roster there. That's my bad. It was a great interception. And that is what the Irish needed. After a critical interception by John Kohler, they're going to get it right back on the pick by Arujo, and they will bring it back and hand off to Kotsakis, who has the lane up the middle, and if he has the speed, he's gone. He's to the 20, he's to the 10. Will he be caught? No! He's all the way in for the touchdown. Kotsakis for 59 yards, and he's in for 6 for the Irish. Georgios Kotsakis, the star of the moment, and that will make it 13-0.
And right after Kotsakis got past the line of scrimmage, I saw him take one look back, put his head down, and kick into another gear. His motor clicked, and he just went. That is the impressive speed from the 5'11 senior fullback that we've seen so many times versus Kennedy Catholic, Eastside Catholic, everyone. We talk about JB so often, however, Georgios Kotsakis is very overlooked by these defenses, and no one has quite figured out how to stop him to this point this season.
Man, he is a star in his own right in this O'Day offense, as that is a huge run from the fullback, kicking into his own gears. The kick is up and through from Severio DeSimone, and that will make it 14-0, closing in on the end of the first quarter here. Well, that's just special speed for Kotsakis. You don't see a fullback take it 59 yards very often, as he just has that second gear, just as my boy Jack Holm was talking about here. And he was able to kick that one all the way in, get into the end zone, and beat out a cornerback to get that one for the Irish, and that is a huge game changer. Two big runs here for the Irish early has propelled them into a 2-possession lead, and Auburn is going to have to show us something new on offense, because what they're doing has not worked at all here early.
And Georgios Kotsakis, a guy that really made his presence known last year in that COVID 2020 season, even though in the spring of 2021 he broke his leg late in the season after starting to fill that fullback role that was left wide open. And unfortunately, that broken leg resulted in him being out for the rest of the season. However, in that spring season, he showed how much of a stud he really was when he started on varsity on the wrestling mat as well as playing lacrosse. Both those sports happening at the exact same time. He made it work, and he did very well at both those sports, helping the Irish lacrosse team win a state championship over Seattle Prep. This is the onside kick from DeSimone, who fielded himself and goes down at the 47-yard line of Auburn. Severio DeSimone with the onside recovery as he turns back to get his tee now. He has just been doing an incredible job this season with field goals and extra points, and that is his personal first onside recovery of the season.
My goodness, isn't that a little bit of trickery? Love to see that from the Irish, who are obviously keeping their head down no matter the lead here early. You want to be able to go out and win this game the same way that you want to be able to go out and beat any of your Metro Division rivals, and this is a huge step on their way to the state championship. That's just a little bit of creativity from Coach Kohler here, who doesn't show it all that often, but that is just an excellent play from DeSimone. A great kick, a better recovery, and shows that kickers can be athletes too. Brown makes a few men miss and is eventually brought down in game of 2. Well, the Irish have taken a 14-0 lead here as the first quarter will most likely expire before the Irish will run another play. That is a great quarter from the Irish, who have looked dominant on the line on both sides of the ball, dominant in the trenches, and that's where you want to be. That's what the Irish dream to have happen every single game.
And that brings us to the
And
end
that
of the first
will
quarter.
conclude the first quarter with the Irish in command, 14-0 after 15 minutes of football here at Memorial Stadium. I'm Harlan Grady,
I'm Jack Nolan.
and here we are under the lights of the Space Needle, getting you ready for the second quarter. We'll be right back live on YouTube.
start the second quarter.
And welcome back here to Memorial Stadium as we'll get you ready for all the second quarter action here. I'm Harlan Grady.
And I'm Jack Nolan. As it's Brown up the middle, makes a few men miss at the line of scrimmage as he is gone for his second touchdown of the game. This one for 45 yards. We just got back, and as you can see there one more time, Jason Brown showing that electric speed on the ground. As you can see those yellow shoes, very bright. It says I am on one cleat and speed on the other, and indeed he is, as he shows one more example of that electric speed.
What an impressive breakaway from Brown there as he's just able to bolt away from everyone at the line of scrimmage. Earlier in the first quarter, they were able to stop Brown on a pitch to the near side on a critical third down, and I said that it had been a killer play all year for the Irish, and there they pitch it again to Brown, and he's able to break a big one up the middle, and they will convert, and that will bring the lead to 21-0 as Saverio DeSimone is 3 for 3 here early in the second quarter.
And Jason Brown, I would love to give as much credit to him as possible, but credit is due to that O'Day offensive line once again breaking wide open a hole for Brown to run through and have a clear shot to the end zone. It was like he was driving on I-90 in eastern Washington, just wide open road ahead of him, nothing for 100 miles except the end zone in sight. That offensive line really makes his job easy and does their job even better, led by Keith Hendershot and Mark Naboo, with other guys like Asandre Afua, Dylan Cohen, Ali Brach, as well as Janice Utu. Here come the Irish special teams once again, led by Saverio DeSimone. I would highly doubt another onside kick here, but we'll just have to see what happens.
Chandler and Smith are deep for the Trojans. DeSimone will be kicking off for the Fighting Irish.
Well, this has been quite the ideal start to the game here for O'Day. They have been kicking and early. They have been dominating this game on all aspects, as there will be the real kick this time from DeSimone. That'll go straight to Chandler, who will get a chance to run this one back, and he'll have some open space, and he'll break a tackle and go out of bounds at about the 26. Nice little return there from the wide receiver.
And that's kind of an ideal kick for Saverio DeSimone there in high school. If the ball goes in the end zone at all, whether it is touching a player or not, is an automatic touchback. However, that ball was put at about the 5-yard line is where it was fielded, and if it bounced, it was going in the end zone. But a nice little return there from Chandler, getting it back to the 25-yard line, and that is where Goodfellow and the rest of this Trojans offense will take over, with 4 wide receivers to the right and 1 to the left. And it's a fumble here, and it is picked up by number 17 for Auburn, where he is taken down about a yard past the line of scrimmage. That is Jalen Goodfellow, my apologies, and that will set up a 2nd down and 9 here.
Well, that was an unfortunate turn of events. Could have been much worse here for the Trojans, who could have turned that ball over very easily. Brendan Murphy couldn't quite get to that ball on the ground. And there's another fumble on the snap, but he'll keep it himself. Goodfellow with the keeper up the middle for about 5, and that'll be 3rd down as there's an altercation on the far sideline.
Like some jersey tugging there with Eddie Carter and Trey Stokes. However, no flags will be thrown as they seem perfectly under control, and that'll set up a 3rd and medium here for Auburn, who continue to run with this empty set.
Well, this has just been an odd bit of an odd drive here for the Trojans, as he'll look to scramble again, trying to find space in the backfield, and he just manages to stay up again and again and again and again, and he gets the throw off. Open space. Will he get the 1st down? No! He is brought down just short, as there's the flag at the end of the play. 2 flags fly. Looks like there's going to be a serious penalty at the end of the play, as the ball did come out at the end, but player very much down there for the Trojans, as we'll cut away for just a few.
And that is a personal foul on O'Day. An illegal hit to the head. He's still down on the field. We will give you updates to let you know when he gets up. And Eddie Carter for the Auburn Trojans is walking off with little support, but mainly on his own will. We never want to see, like I said, injuries in the game of high school football. We hope for a speedy recovery as we return to action here live at Memorial Stadium. We can see he is under the incredible athletic staff of Auburn, as once again it is Goodfellow alone in the gun. Receiver in motion, play action, throw right side. It is caught by number 4. That is Chandler once again, but he's pushed out of bounds by Kyan McDonald, and there's a flag around the line of scrimmage once more.
Looks like it will be on the Irish. Oh, nope, sorry. That one will be on Auburn. They will be pushed back. Ineligible receiver will be the call there from the man in the white hat. And that ball will be headed back. That'll make it first down and 15 for the Trojans. Nice bit of defense here on this early drive, trying to capitalize on some of the mental mistakes here that the Trojans are making. A few fumbles early and some mishandled snaps. Looking to get in the backfield quickly and see if you can get a ball punched out, get it going back the other way. Love a turnover right here. It looks like everybody is set. First and 15 for the Trojans with Goodfellow in the gun. And there's the handoff, and it'll be run straight up the middle for a gain of about 2. Brought down by Saxton.
That's Vicelli on the carry. Haven't seen too much from him tonight, as Vicelli is on the ground this time with another injury, although he seems to get up and walk off pretty well. Looks like he may even stay on the field, which is good to know. Looks like he actually just got his pads mixed up. An uncomfortable thing. I can speak from experience playing with my very long-term freshman football career 2 years ago, as it is Goodfellow once again with 3 receivers, 2 his left, 2 to the right. Check. It's Vicelli in motion once more. Fake handoff, and Goodfellow takes it himself for a gain of 2. However, that'll still set up a 3rd down and long here.
Well, you wonder if you might finally see the pass. Been a lot of run early here for the Trojans on this drive, and you'd think you'll have to go to the pass if you're going to see a conversion here on a 3rd and 11. Going to be a tough one. See if they can convert here. They haven't had a good time on 3rd downs, only converting on 1, I believe. And they're looking to the sideline for the signals, see what they're going to get here.
Play clock under 10 officially here. They're in the back of the end zones. We unfortunately do not have one on our score ticker on screen. Play action once again. Goodfellow feeling pressure. He's got room to run. He will tuck it and go. However, he's met by Zach Newsom just across the 50 at the 48. Sees some good sportsmanship there as Newsom helps him up. And that'll set up a 4th and medium as the offense stays out once more. However, we have seen a plentiful amount of quick kicks from Goodfellow.
Well, you never quite know which time it could be that they finally go for it, and I think they might have to bring that one out here as they're looking to recover from a 3-score deficit here, and that will be a flag. It looks like I can't quite tell who they're going to call it on for it. It could either be a false start or offsides, and we will see the call here. See what he says. False start on the Auburn Trojans, moving it back 5 yards. 4th and 10, 4th and 11. And I'm sure now that it will be a punt from the Auburn Trojans. There we go.
One thing that I've been seeing, though, from Auburn is they don't have a big team in general, but there's not too much depth at that receiver position. Mainly the same 11 guys on the field at once. Not too many sub-ins to this point, as the kick is deep and McDonald is back there to return it. He does not touch it as it rolls inside the 5, down to the 1 yard line. Does it hit the end zone line? It does not. Great kick there from Goodfellow as Kyan McDonald was trying to get the defender to push it in the end zone. 7:51 still remaining here. O'Day looking for a 99-yard drive here into the end zone for a touchdown. And knowing O'Day, that could easily take them to halftime because we know they can do that so well. There are many examples of them just with that ground and pound offense that we see so often from Kohler and these guys. I would imagine it could happen here. However, they have to get out of their own end zone first with a Kohler sneak possibly, or a quick handoff to Katsaki's if they have time for that. The Trojans not stacking the box like other teams do frequently. Kohler will actually drop back to pass, intended for Joe Gallagher, incomplete. Just overthrows him there in coverage. Number 4 once more, it was Chandler. And that'll set up a 2nd and 10 back deep in their own territory still.
Well, I don't know if he overthrew him. That looked like a perfect ball to me, but a really nice piece of coverage there from Chandler, knocking the ball away at the last second, preventing what could have been a 99-yard score for the speedy Gallagher. Definitely a surprising play call there, as we almost never see the Irish pass in that fashion. But they're doing it there, as that'll be a false start for the Irish, and that I don't even know how far back they're going to take them here. They're already on the 1/2 yard line, so they're going to take them to the 1/4 yard line here for the Fighting Irish. Tough penalty there, as it looked like Brown was the one who moved early in the backfield.
I think they're moving them back about a lace of the football. That's how close they are.
That might be an overestimate. I think they're moving it back about 1/3 of the lace, and they will be on the 1-inch line here. Fighting Irish looking to escape the clutches of their own end zone without giving up a critical 2-point safety to the Auburn defense here. As there's Kotsakis to the far side. Handoff to Brown. Some good blocking up front. He'll follow them and eventually get hit and dropped by the captain O'Neill, and a nice hit, way to bring him down, but they will escape the clutches of their own 1 yard line, and that'll make it 3rd down and about 3 for the Fighting Irish here.
And another great job by that O'Day offensive line. I think on the right side there was Mark Naboo, the 3-star, with offers from big programs such as Texas A&M, Texas, USC, and Michigan. He's a guy that was able to really just create a huge hole there for Jason Brown to run through. Designed perfectly by Kohler, executed even better by that offensive line, and that will set up a 3rd and short, but it does not look like the Irish are able to get it here as they get about 1/2 yard, and that'll set up about a 4th down and 1 here.
Holy cow.
Let's see if Kohler keeps the guys out there. It looks like he will right now.
Well, that was a darn nice hit from Jylon Goodfellow, who just met and dropped the much bigger Kotsakis at the line, preventing him from getting a key 1st down. See if they can force the Irish to 3 and out here, turnover on downs, as it looks like they'll set up with 2 in the backfield as per usual on 4th and 1. Kohler will take it himself, quarterback sneak, taking men with him, an absolute beast on the line, and that will for sure get it for the Irish, as they'll move it about 5 yards on the sneak, and the chains will move.
That was a great job by Kohler there, but I will say he was just walking behind his offensive line, who were just moving that Auburn defensive line there. Great job from the O-line once again, getting the Irish doing what they need to do in a critical spot.
Well, no surprise there. They always rely on Kohler to come through in those clutch spots, as there's the handoff. Looks to keep it himself. Could have been a little bit of a miscommunication there. Looking for a penalty, but there will be no penalty, as he was brought down in the backfield by Reeves, the captain. That'll be a 2-yard loss to make it 2nd down and 12 to go here, with 5 minutes and about 30 seconds here left in the 2nd quarter. Some impressive running here early from the Irish, but that was not a good example. As Kohler, it looked like there could have been some miscommunication in the backfield, and he's brought down for a loss of 2.
And once again, it is that I formation with Newsom in the backfield at fullback. He throws a great block as Jason Brown bounces off a linebacker and fumbles his way forward, or stumbles his way forward for about a gain of 6 there before being brought down by Auburn, and that will bring up a 3rd down and about 5.
Looks like Jason Brown might have just thrown Dominic Smith halfway across the football field. A dominant stiff arm there to just keep running and get a few more yards there on 2nd down. And it will be 3rd and 6 here for the Irish. We'll look to see what they're going to do here. If I had to bet, I'd say they're probably going to run the football, Jack.
I think you might be right there. Kind of bold, but
And my bet was wrong, and a little bit of a short throw from Kohler as he was being chased in the backfield by Reeves. That will come up just short. Ashcraft not able to bring it in as the throw was very underthrown. Can't quite get back to it, and out will come the punt team. DeMolanta on the punt for the Irish.
4:31 left here in the first half of play. This is a pretty good time, I think, for the first punt of the day from O'Day. I got to be happy if I'm Coach Kohler to this point.
Well, you certainly don't want to kick it to the scary, fast Latavion Chandler, who's back deep for the Spartans, as DeMolanta will kick that one. That is in the hands of Chandler, who is met and dropped by Brendan Murphy, who absolutely annihilated the potential ball carrier Chandler there. What a hit. Really brought the thunder, and that's a momentum killer for Auburn.
But great hand placement from Chandler there. I think he was about 1 inch off. His hands were about 1 inch off from fumbling that football. I could see it being bobbled in his arms as Chandler was able to fall on top of the ball there. But a great job by Brendan Murphy, the strong safety and cornerback, able to hit him and drop Chandler immediately as he finds his receiver wide open. Just overthrew Faselli there, and that will be incomplete, as it looks like Brendan Murphy and Trey Stokes had a miscommunication at the line of scrimmage, leaving Faselli just wide open.
Well, you can't ask for much more than that if you're Amari Goodfellow, who had his man just wide open, nobody within 20 yards of him. Probably one of the easier touchdowns of his high school career, and just missed him. Just way overthrown. No chance to bring it in, not even a drop, and that could have been a real difference maker for Auburn, who will now fake the motion in the backfield. Goodfellow will carry it himself. Looked like he dragged one of the Irish players. That looked to be Zach Proctor, about 5 yards, and he'll get a good gain on 2nd down.
Yeah, and right there, those mistakes by the O'Day defense are ones you have to capitalize on if you're this Auburn offense. That you don't get them often. This defense has been dominant all season long, but when they happen, you just have to capitalize, because those are easy points that you can get. As a nice throw there across the middle to number 4, that's Latavion Chandler again, and that is good enough for a 1st down, as the officials will move the chains once more.
The Fighting Irish 34-yard line.
Motion, and Chandler takes the snap, looks deep, now running to his left and scrambling up the middle, and he's met and dropped. And the ball was loose and looks to be returned by Zach Newsom, but they're whistling. The play is down. And he will take it in just as insurance in case they do decide to overturn this call. Newsom picked up what appeared to be a fumble and took it all the way back to the crib for a touchdown, but they will rule the play down by contact, and the drive will continue for the Trojans.
Obviously, O'Day fans not too happy about that call. However, it will be a 2nd and long here, as a high ball is caught there by number 17, Jalon Goodfellow. Brother to brother, I do believe. And that'll set up a 3rd down and 5 here for Auburn once more. 2:30 left in the first half of play here. what are some things, Harlan, that you might want to improve on if you're Auburn going into the second half?
If I'm Auburn, I'm working on the run game here. They've not looked great on the run game as Goodfellow scrambles to his right, looks deep, has a man, deep ball, and it is caught. Will they rule it? Yes, and it is a touchdown for Auburn, who is in for 6. Their first points of the game will come on a 38-yard pass from Goodfellow.
To Ryan Faselli there, incredible work fitting the ball into a tight spot, but also Faselli in one-on-one coverage was able to create a tiny bit of separation, but just enough to be able to secure a catch and fall into the end zone for 6. Trey Stokes in coverage there, one-on-one. He did a great job. He just let a little too much room loose, which let Auburn get in the end zone for the first points of their game, as there's a flag on the 2-point conversion attempt. It's a false start on Auburn, possibly going with the PAT to this point. No, it looks like they'll keep their offense out there to still go for 2 from the 7 or 8.
Well, that's huge if you're Auburn. Offense had been struggling all night, and you definitely will want to improve that run game. It's going to be hard with this empty set that they like to run, but that is a great start. That is some offensive success that they've much needed here early in this one, as we tick down to just about 2 minutes left in the first half. As there's some motion on the outside, Goodfellow looking to his right, sees the man. That ought to be pass interference, and it will be. Wide receiver got absolutely clocked there running his route. And this is just a battle to the flags at this point, as the ball was moved on the 2, back to the 7. Looks like it will be moved back to the 2 now.
It was on Kyan McDonald there. He was set up in zone coverage, and unfortunately, the receiver just ran straight into him. And Kyan, being the man that he is, did not move an inch while the receiver was dropped to the ground, resulting in a PI call. However, that will still be a 2-point conversion here from the 4-yard line, which is 1 yard farther than the original 2-point conversion. So we'll have to see what happens here.
As Goodfellow looks for a design run, and he will make a man miss with the spin move, and he'll be in, and that will make it 21-8 in favor of the O'Day Fighting Irish. That was a nice piece of running there from the QB. Been looking for that all night, and he finally gets it. He'll take that one in for 2, and that'll bring this game a little bit closer. Well, regarding that pass interference on the 2-point conversion, not much you can do there. Just unfortunate. Runs into McDonald, and sometimes that happens. Just a bummer there, as they'll get it in for 2 and bring this game a little bit closer. We're going to take a break. We will be right back with you here live on YouTube at the conclusion of this timeout here. 2 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Live on YouTube, I'm Harlan Grady.
I'm Jack Nolan. We'll be right back. We are here back live on YouTube. Auburn, an interesting special team situation. No formal punt unit or PAT unit. And they're going to kick off for their first time of the game after the touchdown. Number 21 out to kick off, Dominic Smith. Not a name we've heard tonight. Possibly getting ready for an onside kick here, as it's Smith. It's a little pop-up kick fielded about the 17-yard line, fielded by Holiday. Holiday has some room to run, makes a spin move, and cuts up the middle beyond the 45 and gets dragged down just beyond the 50 at the 48. And that is where O'Day will take over. Holiday, such a powerful runner, really showing it there. And that is where O'Day will set up for their final drive of the second half here, likely.
Well, they've definitely been looking for a little bit of special team success. That's an area where O'Day has lacked this year. But this game, we're really starting to see them bring out the prowess on special teams. I'm sure they've been working on it in practice, as we've seen now both the onside kick and the nice kick return there from Holiday. Definitely an area of improvement for the Irish, and they're showing that they're working on it. As the O'Day Irish will come out again, Kohler under center, no surprise there. So Brown on the carry. fighting forward, moving the pile, down for a gain of 3. 2nd and 7 coming up for the Irish.
Nice job there about that offensive line. Brown wasn't able to get too much. However, they were all able to push the ball forward for about 2 extra yards after contact, as 1:35 is all that remains in this first half of play here. It's Brown cutting outside across the 40, inside the 35. Now down inside the 20, 10. Will he beat the man to the touchdown? Yes, he will. Jason Brown with another hat trick, getting in the end zone for 6 right before half.
Oh my goodness, what can you say that hasn't already been said? Brown with his 3rd touchdown. My goodness, he has 3. Ladies and gentlemen, we still have 1 minute and 25 seconds remaining in the first half. Jason Brown with 3 touchdowns. I think he could probably go for 8 if he wanted to. What a show of offense as he breaks out, gets a little bit of room to run on the near sideline, and is just gone. That breakout speed showcasing as it has all night, and he'll be in for his 3rd of the night, extending the score to 27-8 for the Irish. Nice response there coming off the touchdown.
Jason Brown already with 3 touchdowns at this point in the game, as the point after is good. But Jason Brown, 3 touchdowns in the first half. At this rate, he's obviously going to have 6. He already is tied for the all-time record in O'Day history with touchdowns in a single game, with other huge names such as Myles Gaskin and a few others. However, we don't know if that record will ever be broken, as 6 touchdowns by one game by a single team is impressive, let alone one player, as O'Day gets ready to kick this one away. Once again, up 28-8 to this point. Minute 25 left in this second quarter.
Well, you can obviously compliment Brown. It seems like the obvious thing to do, but you can't understate the value of his offensive lineman. I'm pretty sure you could have driven a semi-truck through that hole, as Jason Brown, with blockers in front, just trotted his way to the end zone. It seems to happen every time. Brown, of course, can work his magic, but just a lot of talent up front for this O'Day offensive line. Patchwork wouldn't be the word, but they've definitely had a lot of injuries and been able to fill gaps nicely. Definitely hurting losing Oliver Brach, their all-metro center, as well as Ascendre Afua, one of the top 2024 players in the nation, as that kick return will be up to the 35. And they've been able to really make it work all year, no matter who they've been missing, and that's been a critical part of their success so far this season. O'Day, obviously just 2 losses to this point. They're doing great on the season, taking a commanding lead here in the first round of their playoffs, and they're looking to finish this one out today.
And Jason Brown, as well as Ascendre Afua, 2 very highly rated players in the class of 2024, as Jason Brown being the number 22nd overall ranked player, number 4 athlete, and Ascendre Afua, number 9 overall, the number 1 offensive lineman in the country for his class. Definitely nice to be able to say that about a Coach P product here at O'Day. Coach P, speaking of which, repping a nice handlebar stash, as well as a ripped hoodie, looking very stylish on the sideline tonight with some gym shorts.
Always out in force, as there's the keeper, looks for some room to run, makes a man miss with a nice juke. That looks to be downer on the missed tackle, and eventually brought down. Looks for a gain of about 8, and that'll make it 3rd down and 2. 3rd down and manageable. And out they come in the empty set with a snap to give others a look on the outside, and that ball will be caught, and way to turn outside, turn up field by Chandler, and that will move the chains. First down for Auburn with a mere 47 seconds remaining in the first half. They'll look to wind down the clock here and hopefully not let O'Day offense out onto the field for another drive. They have been getting gashed on defenses. There's the deep ball. Oh my goodness. Perfect ball. Almost put it on his head and can't quite come down with the moss, as the youngins would call it nowadays. They will return to the huddle and see what they can do here on 2nd down and long.
Baselli there in one-on-one coverage with Khalil Holiday. And that was a very well-placed ball. However, getting up there is one thing. Coming down with the ball is a complete other, as the ball looked to come off Holiday's helmet and force the incompletion here. The drop back from Goodfellow looks left side, incomplete through the hands of Dominic Smith, his first target tonight, as it looks like some physical activity in the backfield. No flags, though, here with 36 seconds left in the half.
Well, that was a tough drop, no doubt, for Dominic Smith, who had a lot of room to run on the right side. Needed to get some yards there, even if you couldn't convert the first down on second down and very long, and that will make it 3rd down and 10 here for Auburn, who's looking for some points before the half to draw a little bit closer. It's been tough so far for them on offense. They've had some success, obviously, as that is caught in the backfield, and he'll take it for a gain of about 5, and that could end up concluding first half. It looks like there will be a timeout taken by Auburn. Timeout taken by Auburn, confusing one to be sure, and that will set up 3rd and 6 on exactly the 50-yard line. The Irish will huddle up and discuss what they're going to do here next.
And a lot of action around the state of Washington tonight. I know especially some games across the state. Gig Harbor going all the way out to Mount Spokane. You say Seattle to Spokane is across the state. No. Olympic Peninsula to Spokane. Clear across the state. We do not have a score for that one yet. I believe it starts at 7 o'clock. But we will provide updates for games like that, as well as Eastside Catholic, Juanita, Snohomish, Rainier Beach, and more when we get them, as it is Auburn out once again here, set up at about the 50-yard line. 4th down and 5 here.
Definitely be an interesting play call to see what they want to do here. For 28 seconds, you're looking not to let the Irish score again before the conclusion of the second half, as he's looking to scramble. Brought down for a sack by Hall and Saxton. That is a nice play again by the O'Day line. And the ball will turn over on downs with 18 seconds left. We'll see what the Irish want to do. Well, John, definitely some great shows of offense from the Irish here so far. What do you think have been their best areas and some of their worst areas?
Right now, Kohler is just not quite on the same page as his receivers. He's missed passes, whether it's been on the receiver or on the quarterback, with Tucker Ashcraft as well as Joe Gallagher and Sajay Jackson. However, that offensive line is making up for it, providing great protection from Kohler when he's dropped back, but as well as for the backs such as Jason Brown, Zach Newsom, as well as Khalil Holiday and Georgios Katsakis, as the Irish get out there fast. And they will pass once more here with Gallagher, and Kohler overthrows him by about 8 yards, and that will be incomplete.
Well, if you were wondering why the Irish were hustling out there, they snapped that ball with about 2 seconds left on the play clock, and it didn't look like they were on the field until about 6 seconds left. A miracle that they were able to even pull that one out. And the deep ball was unleashed, definitely overthrew Gallagher by a lot. Jack, back to what you were saying about Kohler not being on the same page as his receivers was pretty evident there. What can they do about that?
Well, these defensive backs for Auburn have been really effective so far. No completions, I don't believe, to this point for Kohler, as it's Brown up the middle. He has some room to run as he gets about 1 here, and that should take us to the end of the first half. Like I was saying, these Auburn defensive backs have been pretty effective. Not 100% sure what O'Day can do to this point. However, we know the legs and feet of Joe Gallagher can do some work to get open in one-on-one coverage. That'll be a quick timeout for the Irish with 6 seconds remaining here. So with that, we will still have the first half play. Unlike Kohler, though, to stop the clock with this little time left in the half, especially when you have 47 yards to go and for 6. And as good as Severio DeSimone is, I don't quite think he's up for a 60-yard field goal.
Oh, come on. He could hit it.
Close.
He's got the Italian genes. He bend it like Severio, they say, around these parts. Greatest kicker ever of all time, and he could easily hit it from 60.
Better than Justin Tucker and Adam Vinatieri?
Oh, for sure. I mean, come on. He even has he has a better name than them. I mean, you can't even debate it, really. He could hit from 70. Looks like they'll opt to go with not Severio DeSimone. Confusing decisions as that he could easily hit one from this distance. But out comes Kohler in the gun. He'll like to take his time. There's Brown there on the pass block, and it'll be a massive overthrow. Looks like there may have been still some time left on the clock. Nope. That will conclude the first half of play here at Memorial Stadium under the lights of the Space Needle. It's 28-8. The Fighting Irish will take the lead into the locker room. We will be right back to start the third quarter here at Memorial Stadium. I'm Harlan Grady.
I'm Jack Nolan.
Be right back.
And here's some first half highlights for you.
Quick announcement, this game is officiated by the Pacific Northwest Football Officials Association. There is a constant need for qualified individuals to work on high school games. Please consider becoming a football official. Go to pnfoa.com to sign up today. Thank you.
And welcome back here. We are going to start the second half with Union with, oh my goodness, excuse me, that will be Auburn kicking the ball to the O'Day Fighting Irish, who have a commanding 28-8 lead here after the break. Looking to put up some more points, put this game away, get out of here with a victory, and keep trucking on their way to state championships. Although you never quite know, you don't want to risk it too much. These guys in the green, in the white, the Auburn Trojans, looking to start their own Cinderella story of sorts, as that kick will be down the near sideline and go out of bounds, and up will go the flags, and the ball will start at about the 35-yard line due to that kick out of bounds penalty. And that is where the O'Day Fighting Irish offense will begin their first drive of the second half.
And a big shout out to a few other sports. The Holy Name soccer team last night coming home over a 3-0 win against Lakeside, securing the number 4 seed in state and a spot as Metro champs. And another shout out to 4 guys running cross country in state tomorrow in Pasco. Peter, Luke, Zach, and Bonus from the O'Day cross country team. Congratulations, guys, for making state, and we wish you the best of luck as a flag is thrown. Let's see what the call is. It looks like a legal shift on the defense, and that will be 5 yards in the right direction for O'Day. Not the kind of mistake you want to be making early here if you're Auburn.
Well, the mental mistakes have been killing them all night. Fumbles, an interception, some key penalties, just some bad mistakes that have cost them some points here. As that's Brown to the right side with some room to work with. He is gone. He will use that breakout speed. He will go. He will keep going. Will he be chased down? And he will, but not before he gets down inside the 15-yard line. Jason Brown with a massive run of just about 70 yards, and he will not quite get in for the touchdown, but the Irish will have it inside the red zone with just 10 seconds off the clock in the second half.
That is JB doing a JB thing right there. His speed was on display. However, a nice job there from that Auburn secondary, setting themselves up so they were not completely burnt and let Jason Brown get in for 6. However, Jason Brown still sets up the Irish very nicely here with a 1st and 10 on the 18-yard line, as it's Kohler giving it to Kitsakis here, who gets about 1 or 2, and that'll set up a 2nd down and long for O'Day.
Well, they have been doing a good job besides the 159-yard touchdown run from Kitsakis. They've been doing a rather great job of plugging him up from anything big up the middle. He's been relatively quiet besides the 1 big breakaway all night, and they've been quick to stuff him at the line, not letting him break any tackles, getting low and making first contact, really leading with their shoulders. There have been some solid hits here from Auburn, not allowing many missed tackles, and that's been one of their great errors on defense. And there's Jason Brown off the left hash, and he's in for 6 before I can even acknowledge it. He's so wide open. Looks like I could have walked in there from 13 yards out. Jason Brown, 4 touchdowns with 10 minutes and 52 seconds left on the clock here in the 3rd quarter. Jason Brown, my goodness, have a night. That's his 4th touchdown. I don't even know how many yards he has. I guarantee it's some astronomical number. And out comes Severio DeSimone, who's a perfect 4 for 4 so far. And the lead is ever extended as the Irish will climb up 35-8 here, pending the extra point.
And the kick from DeSimone is up and good once again. Jason Brown, I want to take you back to week 1 against Union. A big win for the Irish coming out early, winning 35-17 in that one. Jason Brown with 305 yards from scrimmage. That is not purely rushing yards. That was yards from scrimmage. He had about 260 yards on the ground, about 40 in the air. But with that being said, he had 275 against Prep. He has yet to break that 300 mark on the ground. Specifically, tonight could be a night where he does that, especially with the 4 touchdowns to this point and all these big runs that he's had so far.
Well, one thing that we could see tonight that we haven't ever seen before is 6 touchdowns out of a Fighting Irish running back. The all-time school record is 5, shared by Brown with some big names like Mays, and most recently you may know him as the starting running back for the Miami Dolphins, Myles Gaskin, has that record as well.
Miles and I have some beef right now. The 1 week I benched him for fantasy, he puts up 25, so that was
that's rough.
tough terms, but we'll get that back soon.
He did post a picture on Instagram wearing an O'Day hoodie, so he got plus points for that, I think.
That was pretty awesome.
Always love to see the O'Day alumni out there repping the brotherhood. With Simone back to kick for the Irish. See if Chandler will get the ball here again, and he's taken almost every single kickoff. As on the other side, there's Smith, and it will be again to Chandler, and he'll look to pick it up and get going across the 20 to the 25, looking to get out of bounds. Makes a few men miss, but he will be brought down there. Nice tackle. That was Tyler Bugby there for the Irish, making sure he was down. Nice hit. And Chandler will stay out there and look to receive some passes here. It has been a rough night for the Auburn offense. Their lone bright spot coming from a nice catch on the outside by Fasili, and he has had himself a night. But other than that, it has been a rough sailing here on some not so smooth seas. That is the Irish defense. As there's McDonald in coverage on the returner. Chandler on the bottom of your screen. As there's the handoff on the jet sweep, down for 4 yards.
And Dane Camacho there on the tackle once again. Great job tripping the ball carrier up there at the line of scrimmage, letting him only get about 3 or 4. Great job there from Camacho. He's a very aggressive player, but it's because he's so physical, and he plays with the mentality of knowing that he's so physical, and that is how he is so successful all of the time. As there's a motion once again, here's the give to Carter, and he is tackled down once more, but this time by Jamison Saxton, helping out Dane Camacho. And a player is down on the field. Looks like that's Carter.
We'll step away for just a second here as we let him get up under his own power. Well, always good to see walking off under his own power there mostly. Hopefully he will be all right. You hate to see injured players here. Just young guys getting out, having some fun. And he will walk off the field. That is always nice to see. And Auburn simply running out of guys. They've had some injuries to key guys on their team. Looking to keep filling the depth chart, see how deep it will go here. As they'll trot out 3 wide receivers, 5 wide, yet again, stay in this empty set. They haven't run anything else all game, as they're going to go 4 men to the left. An interesting formation here. Well, you'd love to see the Irish D-line get home right here, as there's the design run, and indeed it will be the Irish D-line making a difference on 3rd down and medium.
Nice job there by the Irish D-line. The quarterback was quickly met by number 85, Jack Wellborn, and number 86, Zach Proctor. Proctor guy tonight I was told was going to be on a limited snap count. However, he is making his presence known and has been on the field for the majority of the game like he has the rest of the season, which is great to see, as I see Carter coming out of the locker room right now, I believe, with a cast on, and that is a blocked punt fielded by number 11 for Auburn. That's Ryan Vasily, and at the 46-yard line, and that is where O'Day will take over. Nice job there, those quick kick, step-back punts. He's not really that deep, and those O'Day D linemen that are big enough and have that much of a wingspan are able to get up there and block those. Just hasn't happened yet to this point. However, it was present right there.
Well, that was certainly not the way you wanted that drive to go if you're Auburn. Key injury as well as a blocked punt, no first down, just really suboptimal, and the Irish will look to get another score up on the board right here.
And this game is far from over with 9.5 minutes left in the third quarter of play. But these are not the mistakes you want to afford right now if you want to get back in this one.
Ooh.
And the ball is out on a big
goodness.
hit. However, it looks like it is recovered by Auburn. The official call is it goes Auburn's way. Nice job there by the Trojans, knocking it out of Zach Newson's hand. And Auburn will take over. That's just the kind of momentum change they need at this point in the game if they want to get back in it. Down 27 right now.
Well, that was a loud hit. He was absolutely cracked. I heard that one from all the way up here in the booth. Newsom, of course, not happy with himself, but he'll get a chance to get it right back here as he trots out on defense to play some coverage. See what the Irish defense can do after a 3 and out. As looks to the screen, now is looking deep, throws it deep, unloads, and it will be Holiday, almost intercepted, but the pass will be falling to the ground harmlessly, and that'll make it 2nd down and 10.
If Holiday, I think, had looked back about half a second earlier, he had that pick. As he came up and tried to trap the ball to his chest, he sort of forced it down with the motion that his arms were in, which that's the correct way to be in coverage. However, if you want an interception, you're going to be coming up on the ball and not down on the ball.
Well, that's certainly a bummer. You'd always like to see a pick there, get that momentum right back. As it stands, that fumble should be a good place to start for this Auburn offense. As there's the design run, met immediately, not where you want to be if you're Auburn, as that one was sniffed out by the defense, and he was dropped for only again 2. 3rd down and long here for Auburn, a place that they're getting quite familiar with at this point in the game because they have been here all night long. It has been a tough night on the early downs, therefore leading to some sketchy 3rd down numbers here. And drops back to pass, looks for his man, he's open, finds him complete, and that will be a 1st down. Nice play.
And right there you saw the flaw of zone coverage, leaving those guys open, which is really easy to do when you don't have a design man. You just have to identify consistently who's in your zone and who you have to cover. But a nice tackle, nevertheless, there by Brendan Murphy, making sure Goodfellow did not get any yards after the catch. As a nice tackle there by Jamison Saxton, a guy that's been making his presence known in the backfield tonight, stopping that scramble to go more than 2 or 3 yards, and that'll set up a 2nd down and 8 after the minimized carry from Goodfellow.
Well, you'd love to see a little bit of a pass as he looks deep, finds an open man yet again. It looks like to be the exact same man in the exact same place. A nice throw and a nice catch by Jay Long Goodfellow, who I'm sure is related to the quarterback Amari Goodfellow.
I would have never guessed.
Well, it looks like they are both juniors this year, so maybe twin-to-twin connection as there's the handoff with some room to run, and he will get the 1st down, spin off of a man, and eventually be just brought down by sheer mass. 6 or 7 O'Day jerseys will swarm around the carrier and bring him down, but is able to get the 1st down before that happens, and they will start with a new set of downs as the snap is fumbled, and he just keeps kicking it back, and he's going to have to fall to the turf. Amari Goodfellow never quite had that snap, just tried to pick it up, kept kicking it back, and that will be, my goodness, that will be 2nd down and a whole lot.
And right there, I got flashbacks to that Louisiana Tech 3rd and 93. A 3rd and goal from their own 7-yard line. I got some flashbacks. Luckily, that did not happen for Auburn. However, it was starting to look that way as a nice drill there from Zach Newsom. Wraps up, great form tackling there to make sure that Chandler did not get any more than the catch permitted him. That'll set up a 3rd and about 4 miles here. Ball on the 42, first down at the 17.
My goodness. That's just not where you want to be.
Not at all, with a 4th down and 25.
Yeah, 3rd down, right?
3rd down, 25, yes.
As he rolls to his left, gets off the edge, throws deep, has his man. Oh my goodness, if that's in, that's a fantastic catch.
And they will call it out of bounds. Ref saying he did not get a foot down, and that will bring up a 4th down and 25 here, as it looks like he almost had it. Trey Stokes in coverage there, eyeing the receiver like a hawk, ready to jump and bite at any opportunity. Really did there, forcing the receiver out of bounds at the perfect time, forcing a 4th down and multiple miles once again, as it's Goodfellow still back there in the empty set. 4 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Could see a pooch punt here, possibly also some sort of Hail Mary call. At this point in the game, it is important to be getting big first downs. It looks like a timeout was taken. No, a penalty flag on the field. We wait for the official call.
Delayed game on the offense. Play clock ended up. To 30, so I'm not sure how much they're hurting there. But the last time we saw the pooch punt from Goodfellow ended up being downed inside the 1-yard line, and there it will be again. This one not quite as good, and it looks to be very shallow, out of bounds at about the 23.
Looks like it was fair caught there by one of the coaches. Nice job. Can't tell quite who that is, but good work nevertheless. Joey Meats going over to congratulate him. Good stuff there.
McDonald was back to receive the punt, never got the chance. That ball will go out of bounds.
Often they're going to score, as it looks like Brown was thrown out of bounds after.
I believe what happened there is Brown was actually able to stay inbounds, and the ball was punched out of his hand on the right side and just fell out of bounds harmlessly. So the Irish will maintain possession, but Jason Brown did end up fumbling there. Sorry for the miscommunication. Hand off to Brown, cuts back, is immediately brought down. Straight up not having a good time there with 6 Trojans all over him. Brought down for not a gain, not a loss, just straight up no yards, and that will make it 3rd down and 10.
Not really quite the ideal situation here, however. Harlan was spot on. They don't want to be beating this team by any more at this point. Already 35-8. Definitely a result you want to be seeing. However, you don't want to be disrespectful, as Kohler looks left side. And he was looking for Brown. The pass is incomplete, as he was drilled by the linebacker there. That is number 11. That's Ryan Vasily. Once again, one of the first highlights that you can see by Auburn this game so far. Great job by Vasily. He had that touchdown catch, and right there drilled Brown with every piece of that 6'1", 190-pound frame that he's got.
My goodness, that was scary. A little bit of a hospital pass there from John Kohler, kind of left out to dry. DiMolento back to punt for the Irish, with Chandler back to receive for the Trojans.
I think like this is the first 3 and out that the Irish have had all game, which is a good sign.
There's the punt from DiMolento on the right hash. Takes a little bit of an Irish bounce and back to the Trojan side, and that will be good for a nice little punt down at the O'Day 40. There's a flag on the far side. See what the call will be.
There's a 30-yard punt. There is a penalty flag on the play.
It was a false start on O'Day. So that penalty looks like, not sure quite what's going to happen here, whether it's going to be a re-kick or whether it's going to be enforced on the kickoff. It looks like it's going to be enforced on the spot of where the ball was returned.
Interesting. I'm not sure I've ever seen that before.
I don't think so either.
And off runs one of the wide receivers, some motion in the backfield. Looks like we'll finally be ready to go. So that is Goodfellow in the backfield for the Trojans. Drops back, looks to pass, looking to his right. Oh my goodness.
Sacked down by Anthony Hall as well as Jameson Saxton. However, Anthony Hall just played a trick on the entire crowd, looking like he was limping off the field. However, he paused and was fine. Not funny, Anthony, not funny, but great job nonetheless by the two defensive tackles who've been making a big impact this game.
For sure, they've made noise up front, and sack was actually the word I was going for there. Missed it a little bit, but big impact as there's the screen pass just straight up bounced off the hands of the wide receiver. Had some nice room to run there. Could have been a big gain. Instead, it's dropped, falls to the ground. That will be good for a gain of none.
And a few drop passes here tonight, especially on those screen passes, which have been proven to be effective to this point. However, too many just dropped passes. Overall, it's been killing these guys.
Agree. You're going to need to play a great, almost perfect game to beat this tough defense, and they've made a few mental mistakes that have cost them. And as there's the pressure again, and the ball is loose, able to pick it back up, keep running. Saxton, I believe, was the one who punched it loose. Also, there was the senior
Jack Wellborn, it looks like, but then Zach Newsom was the one to take him down. I hate to say this, but that was one of the more positive, the best play from Auburn on this drive. Only positive yardage play on this drive so far. It is 4th down and 16 right here. Let's see what they do. And it looks like the hard count got about 3 O'Day defensive linemen and jumps. That will shorten the 4th down a little bit. It was neutral zone infraction on the Irish, and that'll set up a 4th down and 11, which is still not super ideal.
Oh, still a killer. You never really like to see that. The O'Day defense, however, has played one of the cleanest games I've seen them play all year. They've definitely locked in for these playoffs. They've played an excellent game, especially the boys up front. They've been in the backfield all night, forcing Goodfellow to make plays with his feet and throw on the run. And here comes Goodfellow again in the backfield. Looks like they might send. And there it is. He's scrambling out to his left. Pressure's coming, and the throw is incomplete. No surprise there. That did not look good, as off will come the offense.
That is not what you want out of a drive at this point in the game. Just under 4 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter of play. And a 4th and 11, that is a great opportunity. If I say 4th and 11 is a great opportunity, because that has been one of the shorter 4th downs that they've had in the second half. They really got to turn this game around, because right now, no momentum is going either way for these offenses. These defenses have been pretty good. O'Day had their first 3 now of the night last drive and are now trying to get back. But if Auburn can establish some momentum here, that could really turn this game around a little bit, as Georgia Katsakis gets 3, but after the whistle blew, he got about 7 more. They will not count those yards, and it will be a 2nd down and 7 here.
Well, I did say it earlier that they've been limiting Katsakis up the middle, and there it was again. They have not permitted him to run wild as he can do often. He had the one big run, but other than that, it's been a rough night for him up the middle. They've been much better with Brown off the outsides. That's been one of their more successful moves, and we'll see what they want to do on this drive, as it looks like Brown no longer in the game. I think he was shaken up a little bit on that big hit on the last drive. In comes Khalil Holiday, and that's who will get the carry here. We'll take it up the middle. He has room. Will he win the foot race? He's on the outside. Man trips. Are they going to catch him? He stiff arms one, and he's out of bounds at about the 15. Khalil Holiday with some breakaway speed to get inside the red zone for the Irish, and that is a big gain.
Nice job there from Holiday, running as we know he can. However, there are 2 flags closer to the line of scrimmage. It looks like this one is coming back. However, Khalil Holiday doing his thing, running very well, very powerfully, but with speed nonetheless. Great job from Holiday there, getting downfield and staying inbounds on the sideline before finally being taken out.
Once again, we have a white Audi automobile, license plates BTM7877, and a black Kia automobile, license plates BJX9758. Your cars will be ticketed and towed if they are not removed immediately. Thank you.
You heard the man. If you do not move if you are an owner of one of those automobiles and you do not move it, your car will be ticketed and towed. So make sure to get those as soon as possible. For the rest of you, great job parking your cars tonight. And let's continue to watch some O'Day Auburn action here, as it looks like the call will be on O'Day as the line is back.
Looks like O'Day is retreating. Those calls will most likely be on them, and they will take it back. It's really unfortunate, Khalil Holiday having himself quite the night. 2 big runs, no points on the board to show for it, unfortunately. But that will go against the Fighting Irish. Offsetting penalties will be the call. Personal foul on the Trojans, and holding on the Irish will cause offsetting penalties and a redo of second down. So after all that hullabaloo, we will simply do that one right over again.
And if I'm O'Day, I want the same exact thing. Give it to Holiday. Let him do his thing. Let him pull a little bit of a Jason Brown thing to do that maybe. If not, just try to get a first down here. But also, if you get a first down, you got to remember that clock stops at this point in the game. I know there's still 15 total minutes left here with 3 minutes and 1 second left in the second quarter. But you kind of want to start trimming that clock down, closing this one out. You don't want any injuries at this point. You still have a lot of the playoffs to go. I wouldn't be surprised if Kohler pulls JB for the night here soon. However, we know that anything can happen, and we just have to let this one play out, as Kohler is still waiting for the play signs from his coach.
As I was saying earlier, Khalil Holiday, backup running back, doesn't get many snaps behind the much talked about Jason Brown, but star in his own right. He's shown here today how skilled he is. Just really has another gear that he gets into when he gets into the open field, and that cannot be understated. The value of having somebody who can come into the game and provide that spark when your main guy is out. As there he gets the carry again, makes a few men miss, tries to run one over, and this will be good for a gain of about 9. Unfortunately, that was 2nd and 22. My goodness. So that penalty ended up not offsetting. That was on the Irish, a 15-yarder to make it 2nd and 22. And after that gain of 9, that will be 3rd and 13 for the Fighting Irish. So a little bit of a bad situation for them here, as they're going to try to move the chains on a tough situation.
Yeah, definitely not what you want at this point in the game. However, you got to watch that clock. It is moving, and with 7 seconds left on the play clock, I can imagine Kohler is telling his quarterback to just wind that play clock down as much as possible. As Gallagher, ball with the ball, but he's got the catch on the far sideline in single coverage, gets some separation, bobbles it a few times, and then goes down with the ball in his arms, and that is good for an Irish first down. I was hoping to see a little bit of a Jermaine Kearse Super Bowl 49 action there, trapping it against his back with his legs, but I will take it, as you can hear the O'Day student section chanting Joe G for his first reception on the night, despite many targets for many of these receivers. Kohler finally getting in sync with his receivers late here, as it's Holiday once again taking up the middle, powers through plenty of defenders. He will get 9 or 10 there. We'll have to wait on the official spot. Let's see if they give it to him. It looks like they will not. It is 2nd and about 3.2 eyelashes. I think that's the official mark, and that will set up a 2nd down, as it looks like Asandre Afua, coming off an injury, is limping on the sideline a little bit. You can see the brace on his left knee. Not what you want to see at this point in the playoffs. Like I mentioned, still a long way to go, and if you're a team like O'Day, you want to be thinking that you're going to be making the state title run this year. And a guy like Asandre plays a very important role, and you definitely don't want to see him out limping off the sideline like that. However, we know he's in the good hands of Mr. Walters and Mr. Horton, as the plethora of O'Day offensive linemen will come in to replace him. here on second down.
Well, we saw our first deep ball of the game there for John Kohler to Joe Gallagher, a connection which has been steady all year, and a nice catch by Joe Gallagher to reel that one in off, I believe, with the back of the defender. See what they want to do is there's the pitch to Holiday off the right side, makes a few men miss, makes another man miss, and he will be eventually dragged down by a shoestring tackle, a nice one at that, and that will be good for a gain of about 10, setting up a first down for the Irish at the 25-yard line. Well, we are close to the end of the third quarter. The Irish still very much in control here, as they've scored 7 points this quarter, making the score 35-8. As we go into the fourth quarter, that should be enough for them to hold, as they've looked stout on defense all night. As there's Kotsakis up the middle, yet again dragged down by a lot of white jerseys. That has been an issue all night. Kotsakis has not quite been able to get going, despite a big gain in the first quarter, and looks like his shoe came off there, so he'll trot off. They'll get a fullback in the game.
And it's Declan Brown coming into the game. However, that will do it for 3 quarters of play. Harlan and I will be right back after this quick break at the start of the fourth quarter.
35, Auburn Trojans, 8.
Shout out everybody at home for tuning in. Thank you guys very much for your continued support all season from us here at the DMC. We really appreciate you guys. Every single person in our audience coming to watch these streams week to week, coming to support our brothers here. I'm not gonna name any names, but you guys know who you are. We really do appreciate it. Just a school club. We appreciate the support, but we're just out here doing what we love. Me and Jack looking to make your guys' viewing experience a little more enjoyable. Let us know in the comments after the live video is over if you have any thoughts, recommendations, questions, concerns, compliments even. Always love to hear compliments. We are
open to any criticism, though. We hope to build and make our broadcast better as much as possible. So it looked like there's a fumble on the play, possibly here. Tough telling what's going on. And
this is tricky. Sorry guys for the miscommunications here. We are having just as tough a time as you trying to figure out what's happening down on the field. But yeah, thank you again for your continued viewership, and we are very grateful. So
it looks like an Auburn ball. No, it is an O'Day ball. I was a little confused. Looks like a fumble recovered by O'Day, I guess. As it's Declan Brown. No, it is Khalil Holiday on the pitch. Holiday has room to run. Touchdown, Irish. Khalil Holiday, his first of the night, making an impact after JB left the game, and you can see what he can do there. That man, he might not be JB's speed, but he's got wheels with that 6'1" frame, and he moves very, very well.
Well, not Jason Brown there. We will not see any records shattered tonight, but a very nice way for Khalil Holiday to cap off quite the night. One of his big runs called back by a penalty, but he has been all over the field tonight. Both ends of the ball, really solid on offense and defense, and he deserved that touchdown just as much as anyone. And Severio DeSimone my goodness, what a night. Has been extremely consistent as usual. That PAT is good. I believe that makes him, what, 6 for 6?
6 for 6.
Wow. Perfect night. As we said earlier in the broadcast, you may have caught that he is actually the best kicker to ever exist. And that is why he is 6 for 6.
Definitely true fact right there. Don't even try arguing with us if you see us on public in person. Don't even try arguing. Sergey Simone is confirmed the best kicker of all time.
Got to show love to our boys on the special teams unit. They're doing just as much work as everyone else out here, and they are doing a fantastic job. Plus, Severio had himself a very nifty onside kick recovery earlier in the game and led to some more Irish points, and they have just been killing it all night. So boys on the kickoff team really getting the job done. It's out they trot here to start out the defensive possessions of the fourth quarter for the Irish with 11 minutes and 53 seconds left on the clock in the fourth quarter.
Declan Brown out here for the kick after. And Declan Brown, a guy, he is a linebacker. However, we saw him last year start kicking off after scores as a guy who, just another tackler on the field. Not saying Severo can't tackle as the best kicker of all time. However, having a true linebacker and fullback back on the field is very valuable at different times. So out will trot the Irish defense with a few backups I can see on that offensive line. However, it looks like with Auburn's limited roster size, they will keep their starting 11 out on the field here.
Well, always nice to see the second team getting some reps. The depth of the O'Day Irish team is not to be underrated. These guys are just as good. They work just as hard. There's the screen pass to the outside with some room to run, but he is met and dropped. Nice tackle there. That was, I believe, Kai McDonald on the outside making that play.
Kai McDonald's a guy that's really developed as a cornerback this year. Had earlier on this season and last season he had some issues with pass interference calls. However, he was able to really develop his game and a lot fewer pass interference calls as well as a lot fewer completions to his side. He was able to lock up four-star Notre Dame commit Tobias Merriweather in week 1 pretty well.
Well, that was a nice play by a guy who's been in the backfield all night. Zach Proctor having himself a game. He's really been a problem for these guys all night long. Back to passes, scrambles to the far sideline, looks on the run, and that is almost interception. Almost intercepted. Guy McDonald cannot quite come down with it. Very, very close to having that one. That would have been quite the play to reach out, full extension. And just a great overall athletic play, and still gets the pass defended in the stat book, so I'm sure he's happy with that one. And that will make it 4th down and about 9. I'm almost sure we will see a punt here, but really nothing to lose for the Auburn Trojans, who are looking for any last spark of hope they have here, down 42-8 in the fourth quarter.
As this is another quick kick late here, and that will continue to roll for Auburn down to the 24-yard line. That is where O'Day will take over. We'll take a quick break here, but we'll be right back here live on YouTube when action resumes.
That was a 48-yard run.
And a nice job there from Declan Brown on the short carry for about 2. That Auburn defensive line showing a spark of hope
That was Brown through the middle.
as they have not been able to do that much tonight. And Kohler getting his guys set once again in the huddle. I see a few more reserves coming off the bench. However, these guys are really showing what they can do, even against the starting Auburn defense. Auburn is not a bad team, as it's Khalil Holiday with the pitch, getting the carry, breaks some more tackles, and he's across the 40 and finally taken down about the 45. Khalil Holiday, I think he leads this team with yards after contact by far this season, as that will be an Irish first down.
Joshua Mitchell finally bringing him down.
And that is good for an Irish first down here. Clock running with 9:30 left in this one. Under center, here's Kohler. He will fake to Holiday. Looks right side, he's got Tucker Ashcraft, who breaks a tackle. Nice sort of stiff arm there, but he's taken down at about the 42, his first catch of the night. And that'll be good for an Irish first down. Great connection there between Kohler and Ashcraft.
Well, that was a nice bit of scrambling there from Kohler, who felt the pressure off the outside. I believe the pressure was coming from O'Neal, the captain of this team, but he got the pass off, got it to Ashcraft for their first connection of the night. Not quite able to make a man miss. I think he was frustrated about that. Not able to get into open space, but he does make a nice catch and will move the chains.
Tucker Ashcraft had a nice season so far, really establishing himself as a red zone target. We saw that 2 weeks ago versus Garfield, had a nice about 20-yard catch in the end zone. And he's just been a guy that has been really reliable for Kohler, especially with that 6'5" frame.
Hardy on that last carry. Ben Hardy.
Ben Hardy, not Luke Hardy, one of our fellow commentators, not Luke Hardy. It's Kohler one more time.
Second down and long here for the Irish.
I formation, he'll give to Holiday. Holiday up the middle, finds a little bit of room to run. Stumbling across the 25, inside the 20, 10, touchdown, Khalil Holiday, the second of the night. This guy, you cannot take him down. Khalil Holiday having himself a day with his first varsity start. It looks like one of the refs got laid out by Holiday, one of the offensive linemen, and he will be attended to by the trainer. I talk about how we never want to see a player down in the field. Despite what we think the calls are, we never want to see a ref hurt either, as he is attended to by Mr. Walters and Mr. Horton, as well as some of the other trainers.
Well, why don't we focus on the positive of that play, as there is some negative. You never love to see that, but my goodness, what a run from Khalil Holiday. He is becoming a star on the backfield just the way as we predicted. He is really showing off tonight. He has 2 touchdowns, a few huge runs. He's refusing to be tackled, playing with just that little bit of extra fuel. You really do love to see that. He is a senior. This is his senior season in his final playoffs. He's looking to make a run to the state championship. Always important. And looks like our good friend, the referee, will take a few plays off, fortunately. See what we want to do here to fill his spot, and they will work that out logistics-wise as the Irish get ready to put up the PAT. And it looks like Severio DeSimone will not get to go 7 for 7. That is very unfortunate. Instead, I believe it's Greg Wheeler out to kick the PAT for the Irish.
He's the only underclassman kicker. Just got moved up from the freshman team. If you look very closely, you see the Nike jersey.
Greg, if you're watching this, we know you did not get promoted from the freshman team. Greg is a sophomore, the JV kicker.
JV team, I'm very sorry.
Great guy, better kicker. Let's see if he can make this one. As it is up, and I believe that was tipped. I believe that was tipped by the guy off the edge, Shambler, and so it will fly just under the crossbar. Unfortunately, Wheeler cannot convert. Very unfortunate, bound to happen at some point. That was Luke Dana out there on the hold. It was a good hold, good snap, good kick, just unfortunately blocked off the edge. And, hate to see it, but it's bound to happen from time to time. They'll get after it in practice this week and patch up those mistakes.
especially with those guys flying off the edge. All game long, I'm surprised it wasn't tipped before this. Like you said, it was bound to happen, and it finally did. Although you're absolutely right, that is something you want to fix in the future for future games, so you don't have that incident in a point where it matters, like a game-winning field goal in the state championship. That would not be very ideal, as it is to kick it away. It looks like it's going to be DeSimone this time, giving the ball back to the Trojans.
Well, definitely unfortunate there, but O'Day still with the commanding lead. I would say that barring probably the greatest comeback in the history of sports, this game is decided. O'Day will trot out of Memorial Stadium, their home stadium, with a victory in the first round of playoffs. Go and continue their state title run.
Next week is the first week of state. Districts determines the seeding for state. If you win your district game, you advance to the state playoffs. Unfortunately, Auburn is eliminated. The second round of games are just starting now. It is 7:10. Games start at 7. So we will have updates when we can get them. But tomorrow night is when we should be fully updated on who moves on to state.
As there's Smith there.
Was made by Smith. He actually goes backwards after making that move. So he will be back at the 23-yard line. Nice move nonetheless. And that is where Auburn will take over.
Nice tackle there by Zach Dieterker on the kickoff return.
Zach definitely a guy. Next year, this team has a lot of seniors. Zach definitely a guy I could see coming up, playing that safety linebacker role that he plays so well and starting on that varsity team.
There's the handoff up the middle. Take it, be met by a swarm of O'Day fighting Irishmen. Not eventually tackled, will stay on his feet, and will be good for a gain of about 5. Make it second and medium for the Trojans.
Seven minutes left here to play. 2 receivers to the left, 3 to the right here. Goodfellow in the gun, looks right side, pass almost blocked, possibly deflected, as Goodfellow's throw is a little bit behind his receiver on the screen pass on the bubble screen there, and that will force a 3rd down and 5 here for the Trojans.
Well, that was an unfortunate miscommunication, it looked like. Just couldn't quite get to that screen. Looked like he might have wanted to put it a little bit more behind him than the receiver thought, and it will fall to the ground, honestly. Here we go on 3rd down and medium. See if the Trojans can convert. And they will fake the handoff, design run to the quarterback, who will get the 1st down and is eventually brought down by number 48 for the Irish. That is Rogan Bruce, I believe, on the tackle. And that was a nice tackle at that. Way to bring him down, but he does get the 1st down before that, so Irish will have to play another set of downs here as the Trojans advance the ball towards midfield.
Here's Goodfellow back in the gun.
Going to his right
side. Ooh. That is complete to Chandler, who was able to get separation from Trey Stokes. That's been a good matchup all night, as they've each won a few of those battles. But Chandler really been an all-around player, playing all 3 sides of the balls and doing well at all 3 sides of the balls. He's one of the 4 senior captains wearing number 4 and has had an excellent night despite the performance overall tonight.
Well, they have now moved the ball over the midfield line into Irish territory. See what they're going to do with the ball here. As been a nice little drive here. Start at the second half. There's motion in the backfield. Keeps it. Looks right side. Hasn't thrown yet. Pressure coming. Scrambles, scrambles, scrambles for a 1st down, it appears. Will get the 1st down. Move it for about a gain of 12. And their nice little drive that they have here continuing. And they will get yet another 1st down move the ball to the 35-yard line of O'Day.
4:30 left in this game here with 4 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, bubble screen option. Now Goodfellow looks deep for his receiver, and that is somehow caught. No, it is incomplete. I thought that Goodfellow was able to reel that one in. Unfortunately, unable to with the great coverage there from Anton Arujo, as well as number 40, Zach Diedeker. Great job there by the 2 sophomores breaking that pass up, and that'll force a 2nd down and 10 here as we are under 4 minutes to go.
Oh, that's just a great job. You love to see your safety stay over the top and break up those deep threats, although it did look like he had made quite the miracle catch. As here's Goodfellow on the scramble, looking to get 1 or 2, and he gets about 1.5 and is brought down.
Goodfellow with the keeper, Dominic Smalley.
And if you are able to see other teams moving along the sidelines, up next, we are not covering this game, but up next here at Memorial Stadium, kickoff at, I believe, 7:45 is Ballard versus Redmond. Not in this 3A district round, but still a game nonetheless.
Clock ticking down here as the screen is to the left side, brought in, makes a man miss, and the ball looks to be loose. And see what happens here. It looks like the ball was loose and recovered by Davis Downer of the Fighting Irish.
Davis Downer is a guy that's very physical, and he comes out with the ball. Whether they will give O'Day the ball, they will. Davis Downer with the fumble recovery, a very physical linebacker, and he has come up multiple times with turnovers against Ballard. He had, I believe, a fumble recovery taken to the house. That was awesome to see, and the fumble recovery there.
Well, Davis Downer always has an eye for those footballs. And he is able to recover that fumble, his 2nd one this season. And the first one went back for 6, and this will be equally important, and just a nice play as looks like the 2nd team offensive line out there now. John Kohler's still in a quarterback?
No, it is Charlie Horry.
Pardon me.
Out there.
Will hand it off.
As he will give to his running back. Back in the backfield is Christian Wynn. And one more back who took it, that was Declan Brown on the carry. The fullback, as a few more guys checking in. Rocco Daly checking in for J-Mo Saxton. Brandon Pascal out there with Kai Molek as well.
Certainly a good surprise to see Finn Green in at center. One of the legacy students here, as it looks like there may have been a jump pre-snap, and there will be. That flag will go down. Offside. Some of the Trojans will move the ball. The clock ticks just about under a minute here. We'll get 1 minute 5 seconds. This game is decided. The O'Day Fighting Irish played a very solid game tonight. They will walk home with a victory, and a decisive one at that. 48-8 will be the final score as they walk into victory formation. Just an all-around fantastic effort here. You cannot overstate the importance of every single guy that took a snap tonight. From Jason Brown, Khalil Holiday, Georgios Kotsakis, the touchdown scorers, to the backup O-linemen that came in at the last second here. They're just as important, and that is a great game. The Irish will take home a decisive victory over the Auburn Trojans, who will be sent home in the first round of district playoffs. The O'Day Fighting Irish advancing to the next round, and I'm sure they will be proud of this win. They will go home, study up the film, and come back ready next week. Thoughts, Jack?
With that district round win, the O'Day Fighting Irish advance to the state playoffs. Unfortunately, Auburn High School is eliminated. However, they had a brilliant season with a winning record. Great job from the Trojans, but they were outplayed by the Irish. 48-8 is your official final score, with the clocks hitting zeros. This has been a great night for O'Day and Washington High School football. I'm here with Paco on the on the computer. Got True back on the camera.
I'm Harlan Grady here on the other side.
I'm Jack Nolan. It's been a great night, folks. Hope you enjoy the rest of it. And as always, roll Irish.